Welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes. Sitting down with this gentleman has been a wish of mine for quite a while. I got the opportunity to meet him at the Gavians, but I've been following his career for quite a few years. He is one of the most dynamic people I have had the pleasure to meet. He is a full dynamo of talent and energy and just the most beautiful soul. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Armond Rizzo. Welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody. You're pretty much listening to me straight from my bed, actually. My pillows. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Welcome
Thank you
to
for
the
having me.
show. And we're totally okay with you hanging out in your bed, just so you know.
This is first time everyone's
Actually
in
sat
my
up
bed.
in your bed with you. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm liking this.
Yeah.
How'd I spend I spent my evening in bed with this really hot looking guy. I like this.
Aw.
I'm okay with this. I think this is super cool. I mean, it's not every day you get to go hopping in bed with, a hottie. So
It,
I'm over it. I'm all over it. This is perfect.
I'm definitely already all over
All
it,
over
as
it.
you
I
can
see
tell.
that. I do appreciate you joining me. I'm sitting down and sharing stuff about yourself, and I've been looking forward to doing this with you because, you were actually a very big highlight for me at the Gavian Awards because I've actually been watching your
Oh,
career for quite a while, and I always admired the fact that you were always so professional and always, did so amazing with your fans, and it was just so you were a happy surprise shock because I was not expecting to see you there. So when I did the pounce hug on you, it was totally fitting because it just did. It fit. It fit. So it
it described
did.
the
It
moment.
did.
It
Well, that and
described the
playing with
moment.
your curls. I mean, come on. Come on. It was your curls,
Some people get shocked. They're like, "Oh, is that a perm?" I was like,
right?
no. I'm Latino. Like, how many times I have to express I'm Latino? I have curly hair. Um, but no, people think I'm Puerto Rican right now because I'd be wearing like the hats and then the hair, like the curly pony, like coming out of the
I
hat
see.
thing. Like, you Puerto Rican? I was like, no, I'm just
Yeah,
Mexican.
well, I suppose you're just kind of a Heinz 57, depending on what you're wearing. You just change flavor.
Hey, I,
Just say,
what
when
can I
people
say?
tell
When
you,
people
just
can't
say,
figure
no,
it
I'm just
out,
secret sauce.
I'm like, I'm
Everything, nothing.
everything.
I'm
It'll be
everything and
fine.
all of that. That's a great idea. That's a way to start it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just jump in and start. We're going to go all the way back to when you were little, and I want to know about your childhood. So tell me about growing up. Are you a California native?
No, I'm originally from the suburbs of Chicago,
Okay. So
in this little town of
Aurora. Okay.
Aurora.
So Chicago is like home turf. How long were you there?
I was living there, literally grew up my entire childhood up until I graduated high school and left
Okay.
for the Navy.
Okay.
So I was 18
So how
when
was
I
it growing
left.
up in Chicago?
Um, Honestly, it's like I'm trying to remember the good days, but I'm also, want to open up and go into those other days that weren't so good. But we were literally like a very typical happy family. Everyone gets along, but behind closed doors, me and my brothers are like kicking each other's asses, like
Oh,
fist and all the time, getting to each other's throats. Just it was a very facade life. Like, in the front, people assume we were, had jewelry, hanging. We were just middle class family, but yeah.
school?
Um,
How was school?
school was interesting. I got picked on a lot for my height. Actually, the principal didn't want me to move on to first grade from kindergarten because of my height. So yeah, I was gonna be held back a year simply because of my height, because they were afraid that I was gonna get hurt or something, trampled on. I don't know. But of course, Mama Bear, my mom, she fucking went in. She's like, "How the fuck dare you
Go
say
Mama
that?
Bear.
Like, yeah, it's like, is he stupid? Like, what's the reason? You know?" And they simply just said, "Oh, because he's short." Mom's like, "What the fuck? No, you're not holding back my
No,
child
that's just
for
going to
that
create
reason."
more stigma and more separateness. Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. But they were a little right though. I mean, I fucking got bullied, fag thrown around, um, and I got to middle school. It kind of got a little worse. Just constantly getting bullied, having to be forced to fight another gay person. I really never spoke about
So
that.
you never actively came out.
But
This was just an assumption based on what the way you
yeah,
looked. People just tagged you
yeah.
as this, and that's what. Okay.
I really honestly didn't know like the slander. Like I just would hear it all the time. It's not until I towards like seventh grade, eighth grade, I started to look into what gay means and finding out the meaning behind the word. And I was like, am I this? You're still kind of
Mm-hmm.
questioning. I grew up in a very Catholic family, with a father who's all Baba Machismo and shit. And um, yeah, I had to grow up in that life. So I just feared more to get out. And of course, like I said, me and my brothers would constantly get in fights. So just for them to have that over me, like I could just imagine actually kick my ass even more. Like I just feared for my life. I didn't start getting my confidence until my mom got me into martial arts and modeling school. I can't believe I was doing both of those at the same time. This is the first time I'm like brainstorm, like this was all
Do
going
you
on at
know
the
how
same time.
awesome
Like I
that
have.
is, though? Is the fact that you were combining two things that you probably at the time really loved to do, and that is awesome.
Well, I needed those things because trust me, I just getting bullied. I had no confidence in myself. I was a scrawny, skinny. You could see my ribs, little boy. But martial arts like taught me to let go of all that anger that I had built up and um, just become strong, and trust in myself, and believe in myself. And so did modeling, when I was training for that, going to school actually for that. And then high school was actually the best time of my life. Actually, yeah, towards the end was a little wonky because my parents were splitting up around my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the best in terms of the friends I had, the memories I built in high school, just every activity I was part of and the people that were with me, like that is just I would do high school over again.
You're very
I was a
brave.
thespian.
Not many will say that.
No, well, I was also in ROTC and JROTC, and I was in drill team, and we went to nationals. But it's one of those teams that it's literally you're together with these people, drilling every week, every day, going to tournaments, but marching and drilling, having to know the person behind you, in front of you, and know them so well to know like, all right, they do a little shuffle step. So how can I adjust myself so it doesn't look like like one person messed up. So then you have to read each other's minds and all that. But I love that though. It just created this sense of
Mm-hmm.
teamwork, where we count on everyone. But like I said, yeah, I was in culinary competitions. Like I did so much shit just so I wouldn't go home. That's the sad part. Is that I then got a job too. So I made sure that I didn't get out of work till everyone was asleep. So I would get home to a house where everyone's asleep and I didn't have to hear about anything or just my dad being in this negative mood all the time where it's whatever you did never really
Mm-hmm.
pleased him because he was just unhappy to be here in the U.S. Um, so yeah, I was just trying to avoid all of that because it didn't set well with me. It just, as you can tell, me and my dad don't have a relationship to this day. I acknowledge the person as a human being, so if I do see him, I tend to say hi because I'm that's the person I know I am and I should be. Is no matter what, he's still my dad. I get that, but I'll give him that little bit of respect where it's like, all right, you're human and I see you. I'm not going to walk past you and pretend that you're not there because you're not the bigger man in that case. It seems just petty and childish. And that's me basically showing him, like, this is what a real man is. This is what, a man's supposed to do and act. But yeah, junior year and senior year was
Survival. It's our.
pretty. It was survival. Yeah, yeah. It was survival. I remember days my dad actually would forget to pick me up from work, and I would have to walk all the way from the Chicago Premium Outlets for like 8 miles, cross a freeway at night. And we're talking about East Aurora, where it was dangerous back then with all the gangs and all that. And I was only, what, 16,
You had a guardian
17.
angel watching over you.
I think I have for a long time, and they're quite powerful. I've learned that much from them. They've picked me up so many times where I'm like, how did I even fucking survive? Like, like you're just literally questioning yourself, like other people weren't so fortunate, but yet you survived. Like, I know that there's a reason why I survived. There's a reason why I got through my childhood, and became a better person, like there's a reason. And every day I'm finding more and more in my business. Like, how is it a coincidence that after the Navy I do porn, and I didn't expect this kind of following, and love, that admiration from people, especially from someone who used to hate themselves. you know but yeah, like, speaking up and all that, I realized that that's why I survived to speak for those that can't speak, because I used to be one of them.
So what happened after high school?
I honestly didn't know what I was going to do. That was the honest truth. Senior year hit, we're almost over in the year, and I had nothing. But I'm very blessed to have a friend of mine who asked me, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know." It's like, "Did you fill out any college applications?" I said, "No." Like, all right, well, you're coming with me to the recruiter's office because we're joining the Navy together.
Well, friends who nave together stay together.
Right? But it was one of those moments where it's like, screw it, let's go. Like, I don't want to be here, and she didn't want to leave me here. She's like, "I'm not going to leave you here." Like, no, like, you're coming with me. And of course, we live together. We're close friends. She made me the godfather of her first son. But that taught me a lot about friendships, about never leaving anyone behind, and always reaching out and help everyone else succeed and lift them up, because that's what we should do. We can't get through this world alone. Why should it be a competition all the time?
Yeah.
I'd rather see everyone in the industry, just anyone that crosses my path, I want to see them all succeed.
Amen. So, how was the Navy?
Oh, God.
Well, I'm assuming you got to see some of the world. No,
I did not.
You never left the ship, or were you?
Well, I was in a pre-commissioned unit. I was in the USS George H.W. Bush, CVN 77. That 7 keeps following me. Random. But yeah, we were in the shipyards. Like, when I got there was still like holes, like on the like you could see through things. You're like, okay, that
Right.
shouldn't be normal, because it was still being built.
So you worked in a Navy shipyard. Okay. So you
Yeah,
didn't actually get to
because the ship
go
was
anywhere.
no, because the process is long to get a ship from being finished in the shipyard to then having to run all these drills, and it's just it's a whole journey. We're talking about kickstarting every department
Okay.
in a ship, air department, medical department, supply department. Like no one there has learned how to do something from a previous person that came before. So we literally had to write the handbook on how
Every
we do
time.
things in that what
Okay.
what works with what we have. So those were some long nights. I'm talking about we couldn't get our timing down on opening the galleys, having food ready at the right time. We not failed at cleaning property. We're talking about deep, 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 deep clean. Like you can lick any equipment in the Navy and you're fine.
See.
That's what I've learned. But those were some long, long hours, and they were tough. The Navy was tough. It broke me down. It broke this 18-year-old who thought he knew everything, who was ready for the world, and they made me question everything
Surprise.
that I knew. Surprise. But also it was like, all right, you're gonna take it, or are you gonna like build up other skills and prove them wrong? And that's what I did. I was like, I paid attention to other cooks at what they were doing. I, looked up at higher ranking members of how they've done it, and I studied and improved my culinary skills into the point where became the captain's
Awesome.
cook at a young age, 18, 19. Yeah. I served President Bush Jr. and Sr. and Dora Bush and their entire family on board the ship multiple times. The first time it was with a warrant officer who I looked up to because he went to the Culinary Institute of America, which I wanted to go to in high school. So I was already like, wow, this man has been in my shoes. He's gone up the ranks. He wasn't all the way straight to an officer. It was like, no, this
He
man
worked for it.
has had he worked for it. I was all ears for this man. Like, whatever you fucking tell me, I'm like absorbing everything. But yeah, the first time he asked me to cook for the president, and I was like, like be his assistant cook. I was like, oh. I was like, I just got to this ship. Like, what do
I
you
don't want to get thrown overboard.
like? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you have all these other, cooks here. Like, why don't you pick them? But apparently he saw something in me. And word got fast because I actually was helping the instructors in our A school how to teach people how to cook. When they found out that, I guess it just got through. They informed everyone, like, oh,
People see things.
someone's I almost said my last name. I almost said my
It's
last
fair.
name. I'm like, but yeah, they're like, he's good at this. That's why when I got there, like, you're going to the wardroom, and everyone else looked at me around like, why? Like, hold up. There's people waiting right now in the, forward galley to move up to the wardroom. There's this 18-year-old who just left A school who's going straight to the wardroom. Like, what the fuck? So I build enemies right off the back.
Life is full of that. And you know what? You did prove yourself. You had already been in the trenches, so don't undersell what you did. Don't undersell it.
No, I definitely had either you find yourself or you lose yourself in that Navy. And I had to hold on to myself
So how
and
long? How long did you
become
stay in? Okay.
4 years.
So in all of this time and everything that's going on, when did you come out?
Honestly, I was living my own secret life in Virginia when I was in the Navy because literally it's like you left your little hometown where everybody
Right.
knows each other, and you go to a completely different location where no one knows your family, no one knows your story. They just know
Okay.
you. And that felt liberating to me. I was still in the closet for my family, but I had all these gay friends of mine that I was building, and they were just showing me the community and just what gay people do.
Or
or
don't do.
don't do. But they're also veterans. But I honestly didn't come out to my family till I was 21,
Okay.
22, and it was not a good time either. Time period. I said it because it felt like some demons were like I was literally coming down from crystal meth, from almost basically ODing. Um, Literally, yeah. And it was still running through my system, and I don't know how I got home to my mom, and I went to bed, and I tried to sleep, but I couldn't fall asleep. I just felt like this energy above me, just sucking all my light and all my energy, and I was like, if you don't get this off your chest, you're gonna die here. Like, go. So I, 4 in the morning, go to my mom's room and wake her up, and the first thing I say is, "Do you love me?" And of course, she's like, "Of course, Mijo, you're my son. I love you. Um, but you won't leave me, right?" And she's like, "Oh, no, why would I leave you?" He's like, "Well, I'm gay." She's like, "Oh, Mijo, I've known that."
Don't you just love when moms do that? Because they're like, it's that eyes behind your head thing, hon. We know these things.
Yeah, and like, come on, like, even a 22-year-old, like, I have to hit myself in the head for this. It's like, your mother would go shopping for dresses and ask for your opinion when you were
Okay.
little. Like, what does that tell you?
One,
Oh,
it
and
means
she,
that she trusts your judgment.
of
Two,
course,
it means
you know.
she found a kindred spirit. And and three,
Um,
honestly, I don't know that it necessarily has to do with your sexuality, but I think that those first two combined made the third one totally a non-issue. And it's okay.
yeah.
I'm glad you I'm
You want
glad
to know
you didn't
funny?
have one of those no, get out of my house moments. I
I think I was too grown, and honestly, I told myself I don't really care what my brothers or my dad feel or have anything to say about it. The only two people that mattered to me and how they would take it was my mom and my little sister. Because my brothers took my dad's side, and it was just me, my mom, my sister, you know, being each other there for each other, helping one another up, and it was just us three, you know. So to me, it was this is more important. They are more important to me. Like whatever they say, you know, it's gonna, of course,
right.
affect me, you know, because these are the two most important women in my life. Um, but yeah, that was the scary part. After that, it was like my brothers apparently ended up telling my dad while they were drunk. I was like, y'all suck. That was mine. They're like, oh, he said he's fine. I'm like, well, he still has my phone number if he wants to say that to me, but nor do I care anyway.
It's all good. It's all good.
um, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's what I tell people, like my family was broken, like completely apart, because I saw through my dad and I saw through everyone. Um, and my entire time in the Navy, every time I would come home, it was just me trying to get the family together and just fixing the problems. And of course, I would tell my brother, like, hey, you need to wake up. This is what's going on. And they're like, no, no, you know, like fights. And it's like, yeah, it took all these years of me fighting with my brothers, you know, and family members. But what mattered to me was I knew that if there was anyone to get this family together, it would have been me. And because I'm gay now as well, they get to meet someone and just be shocked. They're like, "Wow, you're not a typical gay person." I'm like, "Well, the typical version, as you're talking about, is the ones you see on film, but we are very different. You know, some of us are more masc, more femme, or in between, or don't give a fuck." You know, there's all these different type of gay people out there, and they got to see that through me. But before that, they were complete homophobes, like completely.
And
Um,
most of that's based on
but
ignorance because they don't know anything.
hey, they haven't met anyone, you know, that's gay. They just go off of what other people have to say about them, and build their idea around that instead of actually have a conversation with a gay person and see that they're not any different than you. The only thing that's different is who they choose to love.
And honestly, I don't see that as a difference. I just think love is just love. It doesn't matter who that is or the way, whether they sit down or stand up to pee. Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the term
Nope.
love is blind is really fitting because love doesn't differentiate between male, female, trans, or any other. I mean, it's just love. It's one word, and it's very
Absolutely.
powerful. And it's not for anybody to manipulate because it usually ends up biting.
Or try to control.
And it usually ends up biting people in the butt when they try to. So it is what it is.
Absolutely.
So while you were going through
But-
all these shifty changes and you're dealing with all of this home life and stuff, and you're discovering in your head, obviously, that you're gay. I mean, what were you thinking? I can't do this. I have to hide. I can't bring this out. There's enough stuff going on around. I mean, what was your process in deciding to actually not say anything? I mean, you have a lot of the reason I bring this up is because I know you have a lot of young fans who watch you, and a lot of them may be trying to discover in their own head,
What all
and
this
is there
means.
something wrong with me, or why am I thinking this way, or how should I, how should I process this? And it's good for them to hear that other people have gone through it, and survived it, even in less than stellar situations. I mean, there are definitely some out there that had great home lives and they came out to their parents, and we've all seen that in that movie Love, Simon. I mean, that's an ideal coming out. No, the family was totally accepting, and that's not always the case with everybody. So
No, it's not. Like I've heard people that are like, well, what if my family leaves me, and and all that because I'm gay? And I'm like, this actually transcends. Like my nephew and his girlfriend's gone through some crazy shit, and I get it. But she's so negative with herself constantly. And I'm like, honey, there's one thing I wish I knew at your age that I know now. And that is simply to switch that mentality of being negative all the time and just be positive with whatever you have. Find something incredible about your day instead of just focusing on all the bad things that happened that day. And she would talk about, like, well, what about my family? And I'm like, look, you have to do you, and you have to go. And it's okay, it's gonna hurt, but those people are toxic for you. And you need to build a better life where your mindset's more on the positive side. And they will come back and they will learn a lot because you will show them that. Because if you show them that you moved on and you went on and you made something out of yourself and became successful, then they're going to look up and say, wow, we've been wrong this whole entire time. And I told her, like, success is the best revenge, and also will bring your family together because they need a light that they can look at and see it rise. And it'll motivate them to look into themselves, like, where are we going wrong with this? Like, maybe we should follow what she's doing, and maybe change our lives to think more positive, to not focus on the stupidest things of just like, well, she said, he said. It's like, I don't give a fuck of what someone said, because I'm here at home just chilling and minding my own business. And, what Ruth said, it's what other people think of you is none of your business, because it's not. Because majority of the time, it has nothing to do with you.
Right.
It has nothing to do with you. It's all someone that's dealing through some fucking demons, and they think that the easy way is to put other people down to their level, but that wound is never gonna heal. And you attacking other people, they're succeeding, and killing it by simply just being themselves and just not pretending or trying to be, trying too hard. It's just simply just, if you're a goofball, be a goofball. Like, just live it. I'm like, come on. Like, how much proof do you need? There's so many comedians. They're goofballs. They're like making money and just like out there. Do you think that if people would have said you're goofy, that they would have like just rolled back to bed and not try to pursue their dreams? Like, no. If you're a dork, like, own it. Own every fucking thing of who you are, like the quirks, you know, whatever your craziness, your whatever makes you happy, just fucking do it, and don't worry about family. Like, I get it, you're trying to figure all this out, but what you also need to do is block out everyone else, because you need to figure that out on your own, and you need to listen to your own voice instead of what other people have to say about you being gay. And I'm talking about family as well. Like, shut them out. Like, what they say it really, don't even take it in. Just go into your own world and just figure it out. It's okay. It's like watching a deer trying to, when he's born, trying to walk. It's a little wobbly at first. And we've all been there. I know for sure you've gone through some things in your life.
Yes.
We've all had, to be in this place that we are, and to think the way that we think, and fight the way we fight, because we had to fight our entire lives. And those things, people might look right now and say, wow, it's like everything's always going to be bad for me. Everything's always because nothing really works out. Whenever I'm happy, something always happens where it ruins it, and my happiness gets cut short. And it's like, no, stop. Just stop thinking that, because the universe is powerful, and what you put out, you receive back. And if you're going to continue to put negative thoughts out there, of course it's going to respond with negative thoughts. I mean, negative things and outcomes. So just look into yourself, just listen to yourself, and shut out the negativity, and love yourself, and just shine. Just fucking shine. And if people don't like, or you're blinding them because it's too bright, and they're telling you too bright, and they're telling you to dim it a little bit. And by that I mean, when someone says, can you tone it down a bit? Fucking shine more, brighter than ever. Put on some motherfucking shades and just
I like it.
Don't give a fuck. Why should I have to dim my light for someone else? Why?
Tell me tell me
you don't like it. I'm like, if it's too bright for you, like, there's some glasses over there you can get, like, two for $1. But
did Mama ever tell you not to stare at the sun?
Yeah. Right. It's so dangerous.
Okay, how did you make the leap to porn? I gotta ask, how did you make that leap?
It actually was a leap that didn't come with good intentions in the beginning. It was more of a, this is the only choice I have. I honestly wanted to be an actor and a model, but of course I was in a dark period in my life when I got out of the Navy. I went from wearing a uniform, being told how to think, what to do, who to be, and getting out to a civilian, to figuring out who I am. Like, who are you? What music do you like? What do you want to do? All these things that normal kids figure out in college. But I'm 21 now, trying to figure out who the hell I am. And I got lost. I was so lost. I got caught up in Boys Town, basically saying yes to every drug that was handed to me, because, of course, I was a good boy who never did drugs in high school or had an alcohol beverage. I was all about no drugs. And, of course, in the Navy, they drug test you, so, of course, no drugs. So 21 was the experimental time where it's like, okay, I'm not getting drug tested, so fuck it. Those were the wrong fuckheads, by the way,
Yes,
because they led through
you won't get any argument out
some
of
bad
me.
stuff. There's some good fuckets, where it's like, all right, that's a good time. Like that was a good memory, just by simply saying, like, instead of staying in your room cooked up and you decide your friend says, hey, we're going to the beach. Fuck it, let's go to the beach. Like those are good fuckets. Those are great memories. But there's like taking drugs or just saying yes to anybody. It's like, yeah, no, those are not good fuckets. And that's what I did. And those demons from my youth came back. The whole hating myself and everything. It's basically what was put in a back burner when I was in the Navy. And when I got out, it was like, you got to face it now. You got to face all of that. And I remember the last time was that this nurse injected crystal meth in me and I started to cough and my heart started racing so rapidly and I can just feel it. Um, and honestly, like I was like, you're in for a ride and it's not going to be a good one. And what happened within seconds was Pandora's box open. And what I mean by that is that every emotion, anger, fear, and sadness, like all of that, just I was feeling it times 100. Like every pain that I felt when I was a kid, I was feeling it. Every like just fears. Like apparently I didn't know I had a fear of being alone. I mean, not anymore. But back then, I didn't know that that was a fear of mine that dwelled very deep inside of me. Um, but yeah, it was a big shocker, and I made it through. Like I said, I came out around
Yeah.
that same time. So a lot of things were coming into perspective around that same time, and I knew I had to change. All that had to change, and I met Shane Frost, and I was like, hey, I love being in front of a camera. I'm a horny motherfucker and kinky
All true.
and I love to model,
All true.
So the, close, the closest I'm gonna get to being in front of the camera, and that is porn, because I didn't feel like I was good enough for big Hollywood, So, but later on, as I went through my journey in the industry and looked around, I'm like, fuck, no one looks like me. Like honestly, was comparing myself. I'm like, I'm not tall. Like I'm not super hung. I mean, I'm definitely a little bit above average.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, like I was like, I don't have blue eyes. I don't have green eyes. Like I literally was just comparing myself to everybody, and little did I know that being different was gonna work in my favor. And later on, I was like, all right, you got to do this for everyone else that looks like you. Like you need to like go in full force and just show
Own it.
them everything you have to offer, because you're not doing it for yourself. Like there's people out there, they're short like you, they're brown, with dark hair, brown eyes, who currently don't see themselves up there. And you have this one fucking opportunity to show the world, to show everyone that there's people out there, that there's a market, that people are not just, no offense, want white
None
people.
taken.
Two white guys going at it, two big muscle guys going at it. Some people just want to see a tall, big daddy, destroying a little short,
Dynamo.
bottom,
Yeah, but you're
Latino
a dynamo,
bottom.
honey. You don't, and your stature, your physical stature, and your presence are two different heights. You are totally equal to every partner that I have ever seen you with. So don't ever think that you're not, because truth be told, you're the one that's truly in charge, and you do pretty much dictate what what that big old daddy's gonna do, and that's owning it, babe. You're a trailblazer. You are a trailblazer. You broke through a lot of stigmas in your career. I mean, you have a lot to be proud of, and you are a role model to to others, and that's huge. That is a big deal. What did you win at the Grave Young Awards this year that you weren't expecting to win? Please remind me.
I was not.
Please remind me.
It's actually sitting. It's literally sitting right up there. Like I'm looking at it right now. Best dual scene, sex
Uh-huh.
scene, for noir, Big
Yes.
Black Daddy. So, I mean, like I said to everyone, up there when I was like in an emotional wreck, I did not know what to say. All I knew that my heart was racing. I felt my eyes watering up. And I said, just talk, just speak what you're feeling, and I said what I was feeling, and I'm even more grateful to win this award with the person, Max Connor, because we're two short
Yes.
people, top of that, and we're two
Yes.
minorities, and we're two people who are activists, and fighters to change stigmas. Um, and it's like this is my other equal. This is he's just darker than me, but he's I love his energy and everything like that. And I was like, this is special because this is something that we both been trying to push. The way that they present, you know, African American models. In the adult industry, and we wanted that. Like that was the first scene shot that basically l- laid the standard from every other scene from there on. So we knew she told us when we walked in, it's like this is the first one. Like you guys are setting the tone from here on
You
out.
broke that glass ceiling,
And
honey. Yes,
we
you did.
together, because not everything can be done with one person. It takes a lot of us, coming together,
Mm-hmm.
to do it. But it was special. It like a lot of things later on. I edited it up. It was Martin Luther King's
Yes, it was.
day
It
or
was,
birthday
well, it's Martin Luther King Day. Yes.
day. Yeah, it was also the first scene from
You are?
like what, not even a year. Normal was like not even a
Yes.
year old. Um,
New studio.
and it was
A
my
new
first
studio.
award, new
A new
studio,
year.
my
It was,
it
yes.
a new year. Like it was just so many first, and I was like, if there's no other sign that it was meant to happen this way, I don't know what there is. I mean, like it just it was supposed to happen like that. Like not trying to be cocky about it, but it's like just looking at the signs of like what we both have been trying to do, and just to receive this recognition together. Like I'd rather get that than just a simple award just for myself. Like this represented what I've been fucking
There's
fighting for,
absolutely nothing wrong
and
with having some validation to what you strive to do. It
yeah,
doesn't make you self-centered. It's just validating that you are seen, you're noticed, you matter, and you have worth. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. So yeah, totally celebrate the hell
no.
out of it. I was screaming in the back of the room. I don't know about everybody else in that room, but I was screaming. So there you go. There you go.
Honestly, I looked out into the audience, and the more people I started seeing stand up, it just made me even more emotional. Like, what? Like, what? Um, but also seeing like the noir male, team, like all my brothers right there on the left hand side, just like cheering louder than anyone else, and I'm like, they're proud, they're happy, And it's like, look at all these people of color, like on that beautiful table in the front. Like we've come very far, and just to see them, that
It's all right.
great.
You're among friends, sweet pea. It's all right. You remember, we've all been fighting and watching you fight this, so you're totally allowed.
Thank you. No, but just seeing them, how happy they were. This was not just a win for me and Max. This was a win for all of us. And that was worth it.
Agreed. Agreed. So, other than this scene, which I know is one of your personal favorites, I'm gonna back off of this and let you take a deep breath. Yes.
Breather. Oh,
I
made me
didn't mean
cry.
to, but they're
Just
good
kidding.
tears. They're good tears. Okay.
They are.
Now you're making me feel guilty.
No, don't worry. No, that just tells you this is a good interview. That's what it says. It says, um, They were both very open and
So let
comfortable.
me ask
So
you this. What do you want to be remembered for? Thank
nice.
you.
um, um, I honestly remember one time, like literally not that long ago, probably towards the end of last year, when I was dealing with my depression. Like, one thing I want to tell people about depression is like it
Mm-hmm.
comes and goes, but it's how you deal with it that matters the most. And to acknowledge, like, there's always going to be that little part of me, but you just have to overcome it with other things. If you wake up not feeling happy or just feeling like something's just not right, change something about your day. Flip it. Don't let that monster grow and bite it. But it was late at night, and honestly, just seeing all these incredible, beautiful people pass away, in this industry just fucking
Yes.
sucks. Um, and honestly says like, if I die, I don't want them to just remember me as a power bottom. Like I want them to remember me for more than just taking dick, and yeah. um, I just want to be remembered for somebody who got knocked down multiple times, but never once did he stay down. Someone who knew challenges were ahead, but decided to face them head on and learn from them. Um, just, I don't know,
That's pretty good though.
just
So, okay. All right.
someone who left with their
Let's do
heart.
this. What would if somebody were to write your autobiography, what would it be called? Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Good question. Jesus, you got me thinking here.
It's what I do. It's a skill.
Oh, what would
Autobiography. Yeah.
the name of my
What would you want it called?
Never Feeling Small.
Awesome. I like that. Okay, so we're gonna switch to some fun questions. So I know it's time for some fun, lightweight. We're gonna do. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, I want. Fuck. There's two. There's two. I'm a total nerd, so you just
That's
hit
all
a
right.
different string. There's two powers that I honestly
Okay.
wish I had. One, either
Okay.
storms or
Ooh.
Iceman.
You're just gonna freeze everything that you don't like? I like this. I'm liking where this goes.
I don't know. Maybe it's my cancer side coming out, but something about water and
You're a
ice, and I don't know.
Cancer? Oh my
Sometimes
God! No wonder we get along so freaking well. I
we've
know.
known this.
I just had to
We have.
bring it up again.
Like, I'm a Cancer Leo, so
It's all right. It's a good thing. That's why we get along so well. Okay, so two
right.
great superpowers that have devastation involved. I like it. This is good.
But it involves a
I
lot of
see.
control,
Okay.
you know, which basically to me, like, to know you have that much power and how much if you let go just
Mm-hmm.
one little bit, the damage that could happen. So to learn, just to me, I see it more of like I seen Storm and like she's a badass woman because she has to hold in all this power and control it, and that takes not just power wise, but literally it takes a different kind of power to be able to control that, and that just speaks for like anything. Like I've never once fought besides to my brothers, but
Mm-hmm.
we were young. But as an adult, like they would handle business with their fists, but I would choose my voice instead, because I knew the damage that a fist would do.
Yes.
And that's controlling your inner instincts. It's in my blood. I saw what I
Mm-hmm.
could be, and I chose not to be. So it takes strength to hold back. It takes a lot of strength because you know how powerful you
Oh
can be.
yeah, definitely. So, what's your favorite part of your career? What's something you love about what you're doing?
What I love, there's a lot of things, honestly. Like one of those things is just that my fan base and just seeing them grow with me. It's pretty fucking dope. um, it is. It's like they're they get me all the time because I'll be posting a post or like a
Mm-hmm.
little video, and they can text like little signs of like, "Are you okay? You don't seem happy. What's wrong?" And it's like, how can you tell?
Uh,
But they've come to know me that well, where they know when I'm being real and when I'm
mm-hmm.
not being real, because I've been nothing but real to them. So to see something totally different, it's like we can see you.
That,
That's not
that
you.
that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, but another thing is just I'm loving where the community is leading to now. We're more of a family, and you can tell, especially this last time that I was at the Gavians, and right before that too, at the
Mm-hmm.
shoot for the Gavians, just to have all these people from different studios with different personalities, like big personalities on top of that, and see how far we've come from being petty, comparing one another, and just allowing other people to start shit, and we're more close together. We're all like, this is a community now, and I'm loving that. I'm loving that we're coming together now in the time where I feel like it's needed. Like we have to, because there's other powers out there that are trying to separate us and divide us and just destroy us. Um, and together we know we can get through this, and I just loving the new energies in this industry because I've been and can't believe I'm that fucking long, but I've been in for quite some time and I've seen the different changes, and just see now how everyone's just being their authentic selves. It's like, yes, yes. You don't have to be a character. It's like your character is who you are
So,
because no one can copy
so
that
you
character.
let's go back to that whole you've been in there a while. So, I'm going to ask you this question: what do you think the biggest misconception people have about gay porn or porn in general? It doesn't have to be just gay, but just porn in general.
That that we're stupid. That we're just a hole in a mouth, and that we shouldn't speak up or we shouldn't talk about politics or just talk about our feelings. That we're there simply to create a fantasy and just do that and shut up. And it's like, no. There's people in this industry who are lawyers. There's people in this industry who are newscasters at one point in their lives. There's people here who are veterans who've laid their life, for our country, who you think they're stupid. Like they had to learn some incredible fucking skills in the military, and I don't think a stupid person can handle all that. So to me, it's like we're more than just a hole in a mouth, and we're more than just a fantasy. We're real human beings. We have our backstories, um, and those backstories make us who we are.
Amen. So, what makes you happy?
What
What
makes me
makes
happy?
what makes you smile?
Being around positive people who are not there to talk about, well, have you heard? So and so and so and so. It's not about that. It's simply just open mind and just love, feeling an energy full of love, and uplifting one another. Like my friends, it's what I love. Like that makes me happy. Like just being around them, like their energies, like there's nothing like it to me.
What?
But just seeing my friends succeed and happy makes me happy.
Nice. So, what makes you sad and angry?
Politics, Trump.
Well, I think we all feel that way.
I mean, we can go down the list. Like, I feel like, yeah. But sad is, to me, as sad as the pain I feel from this planet. Because people keep talking about God as he's up there, but in reality, he's right here. And we're walking on him all the fucking time. You know, like every time I see like a tsunami or earthquake or anything like that, it's like that's God talking, saying that I'm not happy with what you're doing to me, and I'm providing life for you. I'm giving you water that you need to survive because we're how much percentage of water we are. I'm giving you food, vegetation, all that. There's literally everything you need to live, is in this planet. So I tell people, I'm like, stop looking up and start looking down. Because your God that you speak of, he's down here and he's still giving you everything you need while you're still destroying it. So to me, like, that pisses me off. Like, I sense the pain in the world. I sense the pain on this planet. And that just, yeah. People are like, why do you care so much? I'm like, because I feel everything. I feel it. How can I not care when I can feel the pain?
How can you not care? How can not care? How can you disconnect yourself that much to not care? I don't get it. So I get that. So what is the most interesting thing about you that people may not know?
At this point, honestly, I think they know everything.
Come on, there must be something.
Interesting.
A skill, something that you're good at that you may not share normally with people.
Let's see. Jesus, I'm trying to come up with something that...
It doesn't have to be like life-altering.
No, I'm just like... Shit. Oh, I'm very handy. Like, I love, like, building things and, like, decorating and all that stuff. Like, I literally enjoy, even though I'm colorblind, picking colors for a room and just setting a tone. Like, like turning palettes into planterns. Like, I'm
so like construction handy, or are we talking like interior decorating handy? Are we talking about both? Really?
Both.
We're gonna have to put you in a tool belt. That would be pretty freaking hot.
I mean, I can.
I got a hammer for you.
Many times I've asked that, but they're like, "Oh, you're anyway." Yeah. But yeah, like I love being handy. Like changing light fixtures, patching up holes, flooring, tile work. This is where, like, we're probably moving a little bit to the side of this question, but this is where the whole mask thing that also pisses me off comes into play. When people ask me, are you femme or you mask? I'm like, well, I can fucking arrange a beautiful, bouquet of flowers and fucking build a shelf or change an oil in my car. So I'm both. I don't define on anything. I am simply just me.
Sounds like another label. Who likes labels? Not me. No one.
That's why when on Grindr, I read people's profiles like mask only, and then they hit me up, and I'm like, sorry, bro, not mask. Bye.
Obviously, if you say you're mask only, but you can see you at. You're not really looking for mask. You're just trying to put something out there in the universe that just ain't happening. It's not your thing. Mm-hmm. So, let's say somebody new came in and wanted to follow you and see your films and see your social media stuff. Where would they find you, sweetheart?
They can find me on Twitter. It's Armond, Armond, Rizzo, Rizzo, XXX. I have to spell out my name sometimes because they'll be putting an A next to the Armand or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Anyway, Instagram at Armond Official
Okay.
Rizzo.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to tell your fans? If you could say anything to them right now, what would that be? Yeah, I'm gonna make you do it.
I know. Oh, I just want to say that if you feel like hard times, that all you see is nothing but hard times, just know that that's just temporary. That is not forever. That is temporary and it's gonna pass. And you're gonna look back and you'll be like, wow, those moments in my life only made me stronger. And I had to go through that. And I hate to say this, but you honestly have to go through some hard times. Everyone has to, because that's the only way we're gonna learn, and only way we're gonna grow is through those times. So it's just temporary. Just get up every fucking time and don't forget who you are and just go for it. Don't look back. Just go for it. And you're going to get to a point where other people are going to be looking up to you. And you're going to be wondering, why the hell? Like, why me? And it's simply because you showed everyone that you got up every fucking time and you just looked forward and never looked back.
Awesome. So, now, what would you like to tell them about their commitment to you?
I just say thank you so bloody much. Honestly, that I haven't really talked about the Gravies Award, but I might joke and say, hey, long time coming. And speaking with she opened my eyes to something else. And yeah, I didn't really care much for the award. I'm like a little, is it a little too late? All these years. Because I never truly needed that award. It's what I've learned because of my fans and my following is that they they were there, and the only validation that I needed was from them and no one else. An award, that's it's great and all, but it's not something that I needed because I already believe in myself and I already know the people that believe in me. And them continuously continue to support me and follow me, and that's the recognition I need. That's all. But I know that actually this award means a lot more to everyone else, all of my fans and followers. This is what they've been waiting for. So that award is for them because I know they've wanted that for me for a long time. So this is more for them because they've been waiting for this as long as I've been around. So thank you so much for continuing to be there with me and grow with me. And still don't know why you guys find anything interesting about my life. But thank you for thinking I'm interesting or
You
whatnot.
are.
Like literally every time I hit a new stride, another level on my social media accounts and just other things, I'm like, what's so interesting about me? I'm like, but thanks. Like, thank you. Like,
Oh,
but joking aside, thank you. Because you guys made me a better person as well. Because I used to be all about awards, like I said, and felt that if I wasn't getting recognition, I wasn't doing anything right. And it was right on, it's contrary, actually. Having the support is what matters. And I've learned to not care too much about awards or just pity little things and just be happy. And they've honestly taught me that.
amazing. Thank you very much for sitting down with me This was truly exactly what I was hoping for with you. So
Um,
I so appreciate you joining me on the show, and I know everybody's going to be looking forward to seeing it. So thank you.
I'm excited just so I can make fun of myself.
Oh God! Does that mean you're going to text me? And go, why did you do that? Why did you let me look like that? Yeah, I can see it now. Uh huh.
No,
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just more like inner, like, bitch, you need to fix that curl. You need to fix that. Like, you got a little longer hair there. What's wrong with you? You cut your beard this morning? Like, just little stupid
Uh-huh.
things like that.
Uh, well, thank you.
But I'll be
Thank
fine.
you.
Oh, you're welcome. No, thank you. Sorry it took so long. I've literally been like so